Hi everybody, this is Mike Gerdes with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living and a yoga dog who's been sleeping most all the day, so she should be well rested for this. Hey, I want to talk to you today about discernment. Now, I'm not talking about judgment. I'm talking about making a choice based on what's important to you or what you value in life. And how I think it's important for us every once in a while really to take a look at what we're thinking. Take a look at what we perceive to be true and see if that's still true for us. What brings this up for me is that I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but there's a lot of people out there with some pretty strange theories about our government and elections and COVID virus and all this kind of stuff. And I wonder if people are asking themselves, is this real enough? And if I'm going to ask somebody else to consider doing that, I got to ask myself that too, because that's something that I have done over the years. I remember at one time, I thought that God was a man up in the sky, and I took that very literally. And I believe that he gave his only son, Jesus, to die for us on the cross to wipe away our sins. This is the way I was taught in the Lutheran church that I was raised in. Now, I started to ask some questions when I was in the 8th grade, which is why I never made it through confirmation, because they didn't like my questions and I couldn't get a straight answer out of them. I had to decide after a while that some of that just didn't fit for me, just didn't make sense for me. And whatever my tradition has been, whatever our traditions have been up until now, if they don't fit for you, if they don't fit for me any longer, for today, I need to look at that. Now, I'm not saying just chuck them out indiscriminately or without some due consideration, but what is it we really believe? And are we acting on what we say we believe? Some of us profess to be Christian, but then we don't act Christian, if you know what I'm saying. Some of us say that we're pro-life, but then once a child is born, we don't care too much for them. Some people believe that people that are convicted of a crime should serve their time and not have to go back to prison again. That requires some work on our part. It requires some re-education of the individuals that get incarcerated. We can't expect somebody to be something different than they were when they went into prison unless we give them some new information, give them some training, give them some hope, give them something positive to do, because otherwise all they need to know to do is do the same thing that they did, which got them in trouble to begin with. Your situation, my situation, what are we doing with regards to our relationships? Are you in a happy relationship right now? Are you really feeling good about it? Awesome. If you're not, ask yourself why. What are your expectations of a relationship? What are you bringing to that relationship? Is it tit for tat, or are you just giving unconditionally because you love someone? Are you expecting to get, or are you just loving to give? And in your job, your personal creative expression, what are you expecting to get out of that? You know, I'll have to be a little transparent on myself. At one time, when I first got into the ministry, this is like some 34 years ago, I think, something like that. One of the reasons I got into the ministry was so that I would be good enough. That I would be good enough for God. Now, it took me a few months, but I finally got it through to my head that I never could get good enough for God. Do you know why? Because I already was. That was a major shift in consciousness. Another thing that used to drive me was this. See, my previous career was in the music business, and we would get used to hearing people go this. So it told us how well we were doing, besides just having a job or not, was when we got applause and acclaim, and people told us how wonderful we were. And you know, sometimes that can be intoxicating. And when you don't hear that, you miss it. And then I have to recognize, am I really doing what I'm doing for this? Or is it because of a greater purpose than just self-acclaim? Am I bringing good to the world? Now, if I'm bringing good to the world in whatever job, you know, if you're a salesman, you're a cook, you're a dishwasher, any job, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, I've never met one of those, but anything you do, you can bring some good to the world by the means of what you do. It doesn't have to be tremendous, sexy, and bells ringing and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to appear to be in the front page of the papers. I mean, we're not all pro basketball players, you know what I'm saying? But we can have satisfaction that what we're doing is bringing value to people's lives. So if you're discontent in your relationship, if you're discontent in your job, if you're discontent in your spiritual practices, why don't you do some self-examination? Why don't you see if what you think is really true for you anymore? And if it is true for you, act as though it was. Act as though it was. Well, that's all I've got to share with you tonight. Make sure you tune in Sunday for a dynamic talk by Reverend Dr. Maxine at 10:30 in the morning. You just go to cslphilly.org and you can click on the live stream link and see her Sunday morning at 10:30. And also, by the way, if you click on that link at any time, you'll go to archived talks of both our love notes and her Sunday morning talks. It's a wealth of educational entertainment for you to spend the evening, the day. You could probably spend a week on it, binge watching, because we've been doing this for the last year and a half. Dr. Maxine and I really care about you. And I know that a lot of people have been going through an awful lot the last year and a half. But we really appreciate how you've stuck by us and you've helped support the center. It's meant a lot. And we appreciate you allowing us to come into your home or your cell phone and share with you these love notes or Sunday morning talks. And for those of you that are participating in the classes, I know it's bringing some positive benefit to everybody that participates. It's like we've become an online family for those that are in the classes. And if you haven't taken any of the classes, I urge you, next time there is a class, hop on, connect, because you might find yourself going away a better person than you were when you entered the class. At least your heart will open up, that's guaranteed. So that's all for tonight. I think Miss Yoga's gonna take another nap now. And we'll see you again Monday. Bye-bye.